What is up, guys? This is a rare video where I'm actually selling a car and not buying a new one. So if you haven't seen this car before, I'll give you guys a high level of what this was. Basically, I was inspired by Duarte's F80 M3, which you can see right here on the screen, an amazing, super comfortable daily drifter that he built to take on Drift Week. I wanted to do the same thing, but be a little bit more baller. I guess I shouldn't say more baller because F80 is pretty baller. But I wanted to do the same thing with the A90 Supra, and I took this car on to see if I could build a simple, driftable A90 Supra. Now, the problem is I was naive in thinking that I would have time to do a drift week. I'm way too busy for that. So I essentially built this car and then didn't have really anywhere to use it. But there's a very interesting part of it. You'll notice down here that it has 3 pedals and it's got a sequential shifter. So we tried the 8 HP in this car, the stock trans, had a hard time making it work, and then swapped it over to a DCT. So this car has the E92 M3 DCT trans in it, and it worked pretty well. Again, I just didn't really have a purpose for it. But the weird thing was, who am I gonna sell a car like this to? I had a bunch of people hit me up that were trying to buy it before I even listed it, but it was one of those weird things where I didn't want to let someone down or deal with someone, it doesn't feel like a normal car as I'm trying to drive it to my job, or complaining, or it breaks or something like that happened. So I had to sell it to the right buyer who would know their way around a car, maybe an engine, maybe a tune. See where I'm going with this? Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna talk about e-commerce for a minute. Now, a lot has changed since the last holiday season, and hopefully you guys are in the same boat as us. If you have an e-commerce business, maybe you scaled, hired more people, or maybe you're just looking to be able to handle the hectic holiday season better. If you've outgrown your shipping solution or you're ready for a change, we're gonna talk about the sponsor of today's video, ShipStation. You guys are probably sick of hearing me talk about how good ShipStation is at this point, but we're talking an all-in-one order fulfillment system that integrates with over 180 different e-commerce platforms, all different types of carriers. You get a beautiful dashboard where you can automate shipping tasks and print labels with one click of the button, allowing your business to scale faster while saving thousands by leveraging the discounts they get from all the shipping carriers that they work with. Now, when I say discounts, we are talking big, up to 89% off UPS, DHL Express, and USPS rates. Now, if that isn't enough to convince you to try ShipStation, what if I told you over 130,000 companies use ShipStation, and 98% of companies that try ShipStation for a year become customers for life, including us here at the LZ compound. Go to shipstation.com/AdamLZ today for your free 60-day trial. Scale your e-commerce business with shipping software that delivers. Switch to ShipStation today. That's just shipstation.com/AdamLZ. And thank you, ShipStation, for sponsoring this video. All right, that's your cue.
Okay.
In comes Freddy!
You got to turn the mic on, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
I did, I turned it on.
You did?
Oh, you
okay.
did?
I was in the bushes.
So Freddy, believe it or not, actually wanted an A90 Supra to turn into a drift car, and I was like, dude, come on, just buy mine. Even though it has the DCT, and I know you don't want to deal with it, you can always manual swap it, you can do some stuff with it. And yeah, I guess, how was the car when you got it? What have you done? What's your plan with it?
Well, at first, I really didn't want it. I was kind of turned off by it. I'm like, oh, it's like salvage title, or oh, like you did with the transmission. I didn't want it.
Crashed into a tree.
Yeah, and then the Polish Adam crashed into a tree. So I was like, it's used. But the price was good, and I just did it.
Yep.
You said it's good enough, so I trusted your word. The car wasn't even here. It was somewhere else. I got it. The first day, I tried drifting it and instantly broke an axle. Not
the car's fault, by the way, not the car's fault.
Yeah. It was the gearbox tuning, so the clutch pedal was an on and off switch. So I came to like a dead stop and I just dumped the pedal and it instantly broke an axle.
Your girlfriend said you clutch kicked while you're on the handbrake. Is that true or false?
I don't know, man. There's so much happening. I was at a dead stop for sure. So, but it was on ball tires. Maybe I was on the handbrake. Maybe she's talking shit. Who knows? The
clutch pedal, definitely. It was very harsh. So you couldn't really modulate it much.
Yes.
So like, if you guys don't know, this is actually a 350Z gas pedal, which is like a pretty common thing that's used for like drive-by-wire swaps in cars. But in this case, we use it as like a potentiometer to actually actuate the DCT clutch.
So that was my first complaint. And then I had a Polish Adam program that. I told him what I wanted. I was like, I needed to slip the gearbox. So the first 10% off the bottom is dead space, 40% a slip window, and then the top 50 is fully engaged. But the cool part is the trans controller looks at the engine torque output, and then it calculates the slip based on the engine torque, and then it puts the pressure in the clutches. So now you can clutch dump it off a red line and it doesn't care. Like you don't hear a clunk or anything. I haven't had a drift car in like 4 years, man. So I don't know, like I almost have some FOMO happening. Like there's cool tracks that come, people can drift them for 2 years and then they're gone forever. And I'm like, man, it would have been cool to drive that track at least once. So just hang out with my friends. Like this is my friend group, my friend zone. So, you know, I want to do something.
And in typical Freddy fashion, he had to dive full head first right into it and instantly make the car even crazier than it was. So do you want to give like a walk around of what you've changed?
Yeah, so we'll start at the front. Instantly, I took Adam's homebrew angle kit off.
Which was good.
It's sketchy, dude.
Give me feedback on it. Was it good enough?
I just did donuts, but it was tack welded together, not even fully welded.
It was enough. He was like considering driving the car across the state. I'm like, oh yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah. I forgot it was tack welded.
It was the prototype. So the front end has watch fab on it, but with using the watch fab on the Supra, you need all E92 parts. So it's E92 wheel bearing, rotors, caliper, brake pads, and then now it's 5x120. So Drift HQ, I told John over there, I was like, yo, I want the cheapest 5x120 wheel that looks half decent, and that's the outcome that they got me. They're like $200 a wheel, so I can't beat it. I put two-way shocks on the front and rear of the car. It has 14K front springs, 5K rear springs. Trying that out. I have 18K front and 7K rear to try as well. I like two ways. I can adjust rebound and compression separately. The rear of the car just has some SPL control arms to get the alignment and spec from lowering it.
I was going to talk about the cooling mods that he did. Fun fact, you can't even see them because they're in the computer.
So I had George from Arcade Tunes. I was like, yo bro, this thing idles at 225 sitting, right? And once you start driving, it'll go to like 210, 205 coolant temp. But when you're sitting on grid, it's just emission mode, you know? So we changed the fan set speed. Now it's full blast around 180, 185, which also helps the oil temp because the oil cooler is water cooled. Put it on the dyno, it made like 420 horse, 460 torque, right around there, depending how much I let it cool down.
I'm really excited that the car is staying in the family, and I know that like in Freddy's hands, he'll continue to develop it. Whether the DCT works, whether he goes back to an 8 HP, whether he puts a manual trans in the car, I know he's not gonna ring me up if it ever breaks and be like, "Wah." He knew what he was getting and the price was according.
Yeah. Well, like I parked it, it was fine. And then 3 days later, I went to drive it and the thing like would shift super harsh. So I called Polish Adam, I'm like, yo, it's broken. He goes, oh, the computer corrupted itself. So now I have the backup trans file and the software so I can load it back in if it ever happens.
Yeah, never do the Apple update, by the way.
Don't
do the Apple update.
I got the notification for it and didn't do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
My phone did it last night and I hate it. Yeah, it's so annoying.
Doing the Apple updates, like getting the
You can't say that.
Yeah, bleep that out, Mike.
Canceled.
Bleep
You're
that
canceled.
out. It's a good example, though.
It is, yeah, it is.
Motor stock, I put a new air filter in it, spark plugs, oil change.
I never did any of that.
I did a like radium catch can kit.
That's cool.
To keep some oil out of the turbo. I took the cover off, let some heat escape from the engine.
Are you gonna do a demo lap for us?
No,
Please.
I guess.
He has PTSD with a certain green building here at the compound.
Hey man, I cleared it last time, we're good.
Ooh, you got the Black Friday special LZMFG harnesses on sale now, I think. I'll put in the description if they are. Yeah. I don't, are they, or do we? No, actually it's not Black Friday. I think everything goes on sale for Black Friday, actually. Ooh, I told you, it's a secret.
Yeah, I got one Recaro pole position. Dang. These things are pricey, so I bought just one, and I'm ready to buy the second one, and they're back ordered till January.
Adam, you guys a seat you want to sell?
I actually do, we were making deals earlier.
EBC yellow stuff brake pads for the hydro, so it grabs real good now.
Love it when it grabs good.
Yeah. Oh, the exhaust was completely from hitting a tree, and it was a nice titanium exhaust.
I don't think we ever, wait, was that from me or was that from Polish Adam?
That was Polish Adam.
Polish Adam, he was driving the Supra around and he spun out one time in a corner and backed it into a stump.
No, the best part is, so people here, like, I'm telling them, like, oh, I bought the car, they're finding out, and they're like, look at this photo in the tree, and then like 2 days later, look at this photo of the car in a tree, and I'm like, that's, you know, like stories are popping up.
Yeah. So see, this is why we wanted to sell it to a friend and not a random, because then it would be less funny and more bad.
So the exhaust just axle dump. I cut the muffler off, it was mangled, so axle dumps.
Yeah, let me get a startup sound real quick.
Yeah.
How does she sound? I want to emphasize those are loaner wheels. Brings me back to the drag racing days.
Yeah.
You remember? When I had no exhaust on this thing, just shave every pound I could. Yeah. Try to go 9s.
You had that lightweight aluminum seat in there too?
Hell yeah, dude. It was carbon fiber, but thanks. Oh, yeah. It kind of sounds bad.
No, like wide open throttle sounds great. The cold start, warm up bullshit sounds terrible.
What did you do to make the limiter sound so spicy?
I don't know, ask Jordan.
Oh, it sounded crazy. I heard him drifting before. Like,
Yeah, it's 7,200 RPM, but it makes like maybe 300 horsepower red line because the turbo is out of steam, so the power just falls down.
I would love to see you do like one of the bigger stock location turbos on this and see if it makes everything run cooler and happier.
Yeah, because I'll keep the air temp in check and all that.
And you won't really lose much spool. Like they're still very responsive.
It's way too torquey now anyway.
Yeah, so it'll just give you more headroom to be able to drift this thing. Anyway, less talk, more drive. Freddie will give you a demo, and then he wanted me to take it for a spin and feel how much better it is than when I owned it.
It does.
It sounds very exotic up higher.
The idle part, not so much.
Oh, the peanut gallery's here.
Why's it gotta be that?
Yeah.
Sounds sick.
Yeah, it does.
What frame turbo?
Stock.
What frame is it?
I don't know.
It is.
I'm gonna use it. Yeah, it looks like it works. As a tuner, he would be mechanically sympathetic. Nope, his driving style is not.
Yeah.
It's cool though.
I love it.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, coming from the least mechanically sympathetic person I know. What did you do to your wrist, bro?
Skateboard.
Clean that. That was a heater of a lap.
It was pretty good.
I'm not gonna be able to show that up. That was good. He was deep in the drop. The last time I was that deep, I put it in the tree.
Yeah, that was sick. Good job, Freddy.
Woo! So the biggest change since I last drove it is really just gonna be the fact that it has WiseFab now, and the fact that he kind of changed around the clutch pedal configuration. All right, let's do this. Hey, fun fact, it'll drift fourth. I grabbed the handbrake instead of the shifter, and then I grabbed the shifter.
He broke the shifter.
Freddy would break it, not you.
But it spins fourth.
Different gear.
I forgot to start and then I grabbed the wrong thing, but it spins.
Just put a hose clamp down there. That's what I did.
Can I shift just the nub? I'll try to just shift the nub. It's so easy to drive. It's definitely better than when I last had it. Hey, just saying, it feels pretty similar to my angle kit. I think I was off to a good start.
The rig.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll try to put the front sway bar back on.
Oh.
A+ car. I think anyone could get in this and drive it easily.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's really good. Thank you for letting me drive it.
You want to buy it back?
If I had a purpose, this car is sick. Like if I wanted to go do Drift Week, put a wheel rack on it. It's got beautiful AC, stock wheel controls, Alcantara wheel. It sounds good. It makes good power.
Yeah.
You can tandem with anyone. We have plenty of Supra spares, so that's not an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Supra spares.
Between my 4-rotor Supra, there is this Supra. Johan has had a couple Supras. I have another Supra. We've got a lot of Supras here. Speaking of Johan Supra, let's go check that out. I got to update you guys on a bunch of stuff, and we're going to make our way over to Johan Supra so he can give you guys an update on all the progress he's made. But before we do that, I want to let you guys know we have just launched the long-awaited E36 decks, both the USA version and the Drift Masters version. If you guys know our skate decks, they usually sell out super quick, and then people try to resell them and make a bunch of money. So head over, pick one up now. We also just launched double entries for the rest of the giveaway, which ends Cyber Monday. It's the first time we've ever done it. So you can pick up a deck, get a bunch of entries for a chance to win the RTR Mustang, or head over to Drift HQ or RTR Vehicles. Tons of Black Friday deals and discounts going on that you could take advantage of and get entered for a chance to win an amazing car and support our businesses while you do it too. Want to give a massive shout out to the Garage S0 family. The GTR is back home. I love this car so much. It's one of my favorites to drive. It's been basically across country and back. It's made its way out to Laguna Seca where I got to drive it there. Then we brought it to Texas for GTR Festival. Now it's home. Plans for this car, nothing too crazy. We're gonna try a couple different like turbo things just to play around and see what kind of results we get. Basically the turbo on this is the HKS turbo. It comes with a really tiny AR, but we found that we can use a Supra one on it, and it should hopefully make the engine much happier. That's what's up with this thing. Datsun, no concrete updates. We're trying to get over to Bradenton to go drive with Cletus this week, but with the holidays coming up, I don't think we're gonna be able to make it happen. So that's on the back burner for now, but maybe if we have some time, we'll throw the lip on so we can show you guys what it'll look like. This car, you guys will see, I guess, a little bit more backstory in the next video, but we wound up having to steal the front brakes off this car for the old FD car, which we're prepping right now for an event. And it just so happened that since we had to steal the brakes, the only rotors we had needed bigger calipers, and I had these endless calipers off of the giveaway R33. And I always wanted to put endless calipers on this car. They're kind of old and crusty, but it kind of suits the vibe of this car. So I'm excited to try that. We just had to do a bunch of random stuff because this car still has a full angle kit on it, so it's really not meant for that. I can't remember the last time we showed it on this channel. Johan's been working on it over at his house, but he brought it over to the shop to hopefully do the finishing touches and get to drive an event where possibly me, Freddy, and Johan will all be able to drive the Supras together, which would be super cool. The engine came out sick.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. The valve covers was like, I wanted to do something wrinkle, but I wasn't sure what color, so it was either wrinkle red or black.
I like how you did the centerpiece too, but you left the letters still chrome.
Yeah.
It's a nice touch. People that have these covers will know because it's so much easier to paint the letters that it's gangster to have them still silver.
No, yeah, Josh did that, and it was a new cover too, so like I was able to keep the silver. That was great. If not, whatever, I'll be okay. But the fact that he was able to do that, that's cool.
Big turbo you got on that thing.
Yeah, right.
What do you got? Is that the G40?
Yeah, G40.
Oh, hell yeah. This thing's gonna make some
G40
steam.
900 on that Artec manifold.
I'm excited to see how that's going to be. It's really cool that you got to use the 4-inch outlet too, because that's like our biggest pet peeve of going from the G35 and having to step up.
Yep. And there's no transition, so it looks nice and, you know, fluid.
CD transmission and very cool drive-by-wire.
Yep, drive-by-wire with the plasma man intake. Yeah, you actually got me that.
Me and Johan traded back and forth a little bit on that.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, you got me the regular cable one a few Christmas ago, and then he ran into like questioning he's going to drive-by-wire or not. The simpler thing for him was to keep it drive-by-cable on his Mark IV, so I was like,
This
screw
is
it.
Mike's.
Yeah.
You got to put a Divine sticker on the car now.
Oh yeah. So given that the car is drive-by-wire, there's already a pedal in it. Easy to wire the pedal.
Yeah.
It works out. So
How's the car coming?
it's coming.
This car was fire damage. I know you had a couple different chassis.
So this one was fire damage. From what I gathered from the owner was that they installed a port injection kit and a line was left loose. Driving down the road, it just caught on fire, and then there's nothing you could do unless, I mean, it's a street car, so most likely didn't have a fire extinguisher. That side was the worst. It's hard to tell now with the primer, but pretty much where you see primer, most likely it was fire damage. And then this side here, it was pretty bad too, because all the turbo stuff is on that side. But yeah, fire damage, but it's a straight chassis. It's like from the firewall back, you couldn't tell it's a fire damage car. So pretty nice to start fresh from a car that is straight and stuff. The other car I couldn't find frame rails for, which was a pretty big waiting in limbo for frame rails.
I really like how your upper and lower like radiator support bars came out. I don't even know if that's what you call them, but.
Yeah, so it's kind of like intercooler support bar.
Okay, because you're mid-mount on this, right?
Yeah, so bead mount, radiators like sitting in an angle, and then the intercooler sitting flat here. So this supports the intercooler, then the radiator supported down here, and then the frame rail.
Looks super cool when it's all in there.
Yeah. So
And then is this a prototype kit or is this kit released?
this kit is not released yet. So it's a prototype kit. He did release the one for the I82 or the 128, which is like the car that Chris Knapp has.
Got
So
it.
it's a similar setup, but you cut your knuckle and then you adapt his knuckle adapter.
This is FDF, by the way.
Yeah, FDS kit. So far so good. E92 rack in place of the OEM one electric. All the electronics are off the car. I didn't want to deal with making that work, given it was going to be a true manual car and then all that stuff. There's a lot of weight on that too.
Yeah.
I mean, from his cars, when we pull that out, there's a lot going on.
It'd be cool to weigh the three cars to see like what the 4-rotor weighs, what the JZ one weighs, and then what
Yeah.
Freddy's weighs.
Yeah. So it has a PDM to control all the car's electronics, and then headlights, and it's pretty basic. It's nothing out of the ordinary. It's just like, I would say, it's apart from the headlight system, because it's CAN bus stuff, it's a part on with the 36 before it got crazy. Because I went with the PDM, I just wanted to get that over with, just put it in. I know they work. We have them on all the main cars, the race cars, the 4-rotor. Once it's painted and everything goes back in place, it's gonna be like, oh damn, like there's not really a lot going on.
There's not a lot of people drifting Supras here, right? Like outside of FD, there's like TJ. There's probably one or two other people, right?
Probably, yeah. I mean, it's hard to not get traction in social media if you're street drifting or drifting Supras that are not professional.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, now Freddy.
And we got the Super team here at the compound.
Yeah.
We call them the Swampy Supras.
Yeah. That's without counting the ones hiding.
Yeah, for real. There's a lot of Supras around these parts.
Yeah.
We got in a competition, for me and Johan, for a while to see who could have more Supras at one time. Are we tied right now?
I think so.
Yeah, because I sold that one. Oh, actually, and that's true too, because he's got the Mark IV and I've got the Mark IV.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And
yeah.
Freddie got rid of his Mark IV. So.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Damn.
What a downgrade.
No.
I'm just playing. I mean, it is, but Freddie
It's
had
not.
like the most beautiful, probably the most pristine Mark IV ever. But it's literally like it was worth a house, and he had his fun on it, so he wanted to get rid of it and move into something he could enjoy more with us. So that's why he got the Mark V. But his Supra was honestly probably the nicest Mark IV I've ever seen.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Incredible.
At Rolling House.
Yeah, literally.
Well, he said those two, like, to hear his perspective on the car is crazy because it's like, makes too much power. Either you go to jail or you kill yourself. So it's like, to see that coming from him, like, that tells you something about the car. That's just like not something you know, take lightly.
Left out the best part. I don't remember if we showed his gangster titanium. I mean, you guys know he's already a gangster with the TIG, but tie exhaust on the Supra is gonna be sick.
Yeah.
And then you got the Link in there. What else is new inside?
It's the Link. I got some wood pedal, hanging pedals, so that I didn't keep the OEM brake pedal, and then I needed to add a clutch pedal. So the easiest thing I thought at the time was to just add the wood hanging pedal set, and then, like I said earlier, keeping the stock drive-by-wire pedal. So it worked out. They all look good together. So yeah, just regular pool type hydro with a inline single caliper in the rear. I wasn't gonna put the interior back in, like the carpet, but I had it, so you know, for the first iteration of the car, why not just keep it in there? It looks like a street car. Maybe take it to Cars and Coffee, and you know,
Hell yeah.
it looked like a regular street car, and then you roll in, you see it, it's like, oh no, it's more like a track car slash street, but it's cool. Easy use, fast in there, mounted all the lines and stuff. Yeah, shifter hole is gonna be in the same spot as OEM, so that's a plus. You know, bucket seats is a plus. A drift car, you have to have a bucket seats at least. You know, if not, you're gonna be sliding around and stuff like that. Especially if you have a cage, you should have buckets, I think.
I think we're gonna wrap things up here. It's Monday, so there's a lot of meetings and random stuff going on, but I'm stoked to get to share with you the update on my Supra, the update on, well, I should say Freddy Supra, Johan Supra, and then this thing will probably be the focus of the next video. There's been so much progress made on the old FD car, a lot of new exciting stuff going on with it, and hopefully maybe the next time you guys see it, it'll be running and making some cool noises, so we'll see how that goes, and I'll see you guys soon. I'm not gonna say if I don't see you, because I'll see you before Thanksgiving for sure. I was gonna say happy holidays, but I'll say that again later.
When you